Namaskar. Uh, Welcome to this short video presentation on reflecting translation theory and practice. I'm Raj Kumar Sharma, MPhil scholar at Nepal Open University. So this brief video is based on just experience of reading translation studies. In this video, I will be talking on my previous perception and how it changed after taking translation studies course. Uh, yes, so I had limited knowledge regarding translation before taking the course. So I used to think that yes, of course, I had known some translation studies is not just conversion of a word. I had limited knowledge, so I was just thinking about it is very it is very easy to translate, but after taking translation studies course, my perception changed. So I came to realize that it has uh, vast scope. It doesn't have a limited scope, and so it is very sensitive one. The process is very sensitive one. Yes, of course, my perception changed, and I came to realize that so exact translation is just myth. So we cannot exactly translate from one language into another language. So because of culture, language, creativity of a translator, poetic devices, so these elements sometimes obstruct for the exact translation from one language to another language. So culture. So while translating, a translator should be familiar with uh, two cultures. So from one source language, culture of source language and target language. Okay, it is not only conversion of word to word conversion. So if a translator think or tries to converge word to word, so at that time he may fail. That is why it is not just conversion of word. So sometimes we may not get equivalent word. So like for example, so while translating one poem, I got a different experience. Like so there was chang, a word chang, and I didn't find any word equivalent word to this word. At the time I used footnote to describe that word chang. And yes, of course, this is sensitive one. A translator, if a translator is not too much sensitive, uh, he may mistranslate the source. Uh, yes, of course, translation is not just theory, not just practice, but it is amalgam, fusion of theory and practice. So before translating, a translator has to has to grasp knowledge, theoretical knowledge. Only after then that he can translate the text as much as better. Yes, of course, translation is not just a word-to-word translation. It is beyond word-to-word translation. Sometimes, proverb, proverb, cannot be exactly translated because there is so cultural meaning, embedded with that proverb. So at that time, so a translator should be very careful. Like poetic devices may hinder her exact translation. So we may not get exact word. to translate source a language into target language. So this there is, a joy of translation, because so translation itself is has vast scope. you know some people are getting identity as translator, so they are getting job. Now vacancies are announced for translator. So some translator are earning a lot of money after translating. So they are not only earning money, they are um, earning popularity too after being a translator. So this is creative work also. So a translator does not only render one language into another, but he creates something. He creatively, while rendering one language into another, so he creatively render. He transcreate, translator transcreate. Uh, Yes, experience of translating the text. So my experience, I'm in now I'm sharing how I experienced while translating the text. So fiction and poetry. While translating fiction and poetry, I got uh, so entertained. So I was entertaining with source text, and so while translating, I experienced that uh, we do not get exact word while translating. Suppose, for example, chang. So I did not get um, you know uh, exact word, English word for chang. At that time, I used footnote to describe the word. And so while translating legal and economic text, so I found difficulty. So it became a bit difficult than translating fiction and poetry text. uh, Jargons, so legal and economic text, to translate legal and economic text, so it becomes difficult because of some jargons. So jargons make difficulty while translating. So in legal and economic translation, we experience difficult to make sentences, and it also takes longer time. uh, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you. Namaskar.